I'm recording now. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rachel. Welcome everybody to the EBI TV Masterclass. This week's topic is how to be a film critic and ways to expand the importance of film reviews, the importance and the art of film reviews in cinema. So welcome, I'm Eileen Nyau from EBI TV, and I'm an online streaming startup streaming platform. If you want to know more information about EBI TV, you can watch our last week's masterclass webinar uploaded on YouTube. We'll send you everything to post everything on we have a WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group for the masterclass, and I will share the contact with you in the comment section. So for a short icebreaker, I just want to know to inquire how many countries are we representing tonight? Then I have how many countries are we in? Who's representing which country today? Anyone? Is everyone shy? And I just okay. Can we get anyone to explain to us what do you expect to learn out of this masterclass today? When you hear film criticism or when you read the topic on our posters, what do you expect to come out of it? What do you expect to learn out of this today? What do you expect to learn out of it today? Out of today's session? Nobody. You just came to the masterclass just with no expectation of learning anything. Does anyone know what they would like to take from this, to learn from this masterclass? Can you all hear me?
I
I
think
think no one can hear me.
yeah, Lynn, I
Can
think
you hear me?
okay. Ellen,
No one.
maybe
Yes.
Ellen, maybe they should unmute their mic so that they can also introduce themselves, so that we
Oh
confirm
yes.
if they can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, guys. Can you kindly unmute your mics and introduce yourself to us and tell us what country you are representing tonight? What country are you coming from? Anybody can tell us which country they are coming from?
Okay, hello.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, my name is Clinton Monde,
Yes.
and I'm representing Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay, welcome to the masterclass. What do you expect to learn from this session today?
Oh, what do I expect to learn from this session today? So,
yes.
personally, I would like to learn more from Oluwafemi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and since I'm also in the industry, I want to like, it's when I'm pushing my career in the industry, and from there.
Are you still with us?
Are you listening to me?
Yeah,
yes,
we can
sir,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm on the expanding part. Like I'd like to expand my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The
when you
filmmaker.
read, okay, thank you, sir. When you read on our poster that today this week's session is about how to be a film critic and film reviews, what was the first thing that came to your mind when you read this week's topic? Good evening, Diapunya, you still there? Okay. I think we can before we
Hi, yes,
we go ahead.
I'm here. Hello.
Yes, I wanted to ask, when you read on our poster that this week's topic will be about being a film critic and ways to expand, I want to ask you a question. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear of film appreciation or film reviews or film critic? What was the first thing that came to mind when you hear of such things?
Ellen, I think okay. I think it's another person. He should introduce himself.
Oh,
Yes, it's another person that's trying to talk.
yes. Good evening. Before
Yeah,
we allow our speaker to introduce himself, I just want to get at least one answer on what do you expect to learn out of this session? And what was the first thing that came? What do you understand by film appreciation and film reviews? Anyone can answer that? Hey, is everyone shy?
Hello,
Can
hello.
everyone hear me? Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm Christian Tinawasa.
Welcome to the masterclass. Sir.
Yeah, I'm from Uganda, Kigezi, southwestern Uganda.
Okay, welcome.
So, to me, how I understand film review
Mm-hmm.
is like when you go into the field or to the location
Mm-hmm.
and you shoot a movie or a film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You take it for a review where you check if you shot all the scenes and you see if the quality is good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for your answer, Crescent. We will hear what our speaker will have to say about that. Anybody else? What do you expect to learn out of this session, and what comes to your mind when you hear of the term film reviews or film appreciation or how to be a film critic? What comes to your mind? You are accepting one more answer so we can start with the session.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Can I say
Good
something?
evening.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My name is Deapunye, and I'm from Namibia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think, in my understanding, I feel like and the reason why I even like got onto these master classes because I feel like being a film critic, right, is something
Mm-hmm.
that is very essential. Is something that is very essential to either the success or like the bombing of a film. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking this masterclass because I want to understand um what what people what film studies, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
film oh my god, I'm rambling. So I
No
feel like,
problem.
yeah, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like for you to be a good filmmaker is for you to know
Mm-hmm.
what people think about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Naponya, for joining us today. Since we are running late and it's getting late, I just wanted to announce that today we will be only doing the introduction of the topic due to time, and we will continue with the full discussion webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. same time, 7 p.m. Namibian time. So today our speaker will only do the introduction to the topic, and then we will continue tomorrow at 7 p.m. because of time. So can everyone hear me? Is you all agree on that? Are you all fine with it? Can I hear approval?
yeah,
Someone say yes.
yeah, it's fine.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I'd like to introduce our speaker today. Our speaker for today's webinar, Mr. Okedore Oluwafemi. Sir, the floor is yours. Please kindly introduce yourself and today's topic.
Okay, thank you very much, Eileen. And
Okay.
it's a privilege also having to be in the midst of fellow colleagues. My name is Oluwafemi Okedore. I am a film director and also a cinematographer from Nigeria. And yes, a brief introduction about, before I go into that, the brief introduction about film appreciation. I also want to use this opportunity to also present the reason why the success that we have been able to record in the Nollywood, the Nigerian film industry, is called Nollywood. So the success over the years have also been the efforts that we have been able to put into this aspect of revealing and also appreciating the various work that we continue to do, we continue to produce in the film industry in our space, not just for Africa, but we'll also be able to capture the global audience as well. And that also has been the reason for our success story in not just in Africa, but in the global space when it comes to film and entertainment business all over the world. So having to have this understanding about the importance of reviews. So uh, film production is not just a one-man show. It's always a holistic effort in which we have different departments that come in to create, produce a particular story. So before you can be able to become a good film critic, you need to really understand what film appreciation is all about. Because the truth is, if you do not know and have the idea, the technical idea of what it takes to put a movie, to put a film together, you might not understand how to review a film. Please, I want to repeat myself. It's very important for every success, especially when it comes to the film and entertainment industry, that Nigeria film industry, that is popularly called Nollywood, have been able to have over the years and century. It is based on our power, our sense of reviewing, and also appreciating our production, our content, in which it actually help us to be able to meet up with the global audience and also the demand as well. So me having to know this truth, then I will want to enter into what film appreciation is all about. So I want us to, for everyone that is also noting, so that I want to give us a structure of how this master class is going to be. Yes, today, because of our time, we are going to be having just a brief introduction about what film is about. Sorry, what film appreciation is all about. And then we move into, that will be tomorrow. We move into the practical aspect of film appreciation, in which we are going to review two movies. So one short movie is going to be reviewed. We are going to share it on the screen, in which we are going to watch, because you cannot appreciate a film, or you cannot be a good critic without watching a different variety of movie. You need to get to that stage, to watching different variety of movie before you can become a good critic. So it's a practical thing in which we are going to go into the practical tomorrow by God's grace. Then afterwards, after watching the movie, the short movie that we are going to present tomorrow, then we are now going to analyze the movie together. Then, which is going to make it to be practical. Then we now bring in your question afterwards. So, but for today, as concerns the introduction, so let me quickly go into it. So, what is film appreciation? So, or you get to a particular place, maybe you are selected as a film professional to come and review or come and critique a project, a film project. So that can be done at any time as you go along the film industry. So film appreciation simply means the art of understanding and analyzing film. It is also an art on its own. It is also a skill that you need to develop. It is not just you sitting and being carried away by the glamour, by the entertainment that is embedded in a film project. No, as for you to become a film critic, for you to be able to appreciate movie, in which you can be able to understand what a movie is about or what a story is about in that movie, you need to develop the skill of having to understand and analyze film. So that is just what film appreciation is about. That is as well what film review is about. That is as well what criticizing film is all about. So you need to be able to develop that skills and of understanding and analyzing film. It also involves recognizing different elements that make up a film project. Before you can also appreciate a movie, before you can also be able to review, analyze a movie, in every movie, there are different elements. Just like I said, that movie production is not a one-man thing, it's a teamwork. And each of the departments that come together to show, to produce that story. Don't forget, every good film starts from a great idea. It's very important we understand it. Every good film that we see today, the what's it called, Gladiator that we see today, the what's it called, different Godfather that we see today. Most of all these best film that has been talked over for centuries started with an idea, and this idea, when it's being brought together to make it to become a script, we now be analyzed. We now bring about different professionals to be able to bring this idea that has actually become a story to be able to bring it to life. So there are different elements, there are different departments, there are different skills, there are different professionals that comes together to bring that idea, that story that we see today, that we sit down to watch in the cinema, that we sit down to watch on our phone from different social media platform. So these elements are what we now need to now discuss on now, so that it is going to make us to understand what a film appreciation is. First of all, before we really go down to this element, the first thing that I really need us to understand when it comes to this aspect of this element is that before you can get to that level in which you want to analyze different things, you must have the opportunity of, or the flair of, watching different as variety of films. For example, some of us, maybe we are just stuck watching, we are stuck to watching comedy. Some of us is more about comedy. We just want to laugh. But for you to be able to have that skills to be able to analyze different genres of movie, you must be able to watch different kind of genres. For example, if you are so stuck or you're a lover of a comic relief, that means comedy film, comedy projects, you might not be able to analyze when it comes to drama. You might not be able to
Sorry for
analyze.
disturbing you, sir. Andrew, please mute your mic.
Yeah, sorry, mute your mic.
Andrew.
Okay.
Okay, so you can continue.
So for you to be able to have that skills develop, so it's not just that area of that kind of film, that genre of film that you love watching, that you continue to watch. So we have different genre. We have in the aspect of
Doria, are you still with
classical.
us?
Ellen?
Yes, are you still with us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So as I was saying, I said before I go down to analyzing the different elements that is embedded in a film in which we want to analyze, you have to be able to watch different genres of films. You want to watch action film, you want to watch drama, you want to watch classical, you want to watch epic, you want to watch comedy. So you must be able to cut across different genre that we bring about the development of that analyzing, proper analyzing and understanding of different kinds of film. So let's now go down because of our time. So in one element of film appreciation is that you need to pay attention to the story. Every film or movie project that we see today is actually connected to a story. The story might be a fiction and it can be a true life story, but it is always about a story. The story is often the art of every film. It is the story that normally drive the narrative and make the audience care about the character. Without a good story that is about to be projected in a movie, then we cannot have a movie. For example, a lot of us before this master class, we want to, maybe in one way or the other, we have watched Black Panther. A lot of the students have been able to have encounter with to in the aspect of analyzing the movie Black Panther. I got to discover that a lot of students and even professional filmmakers, they were so engaged, they were so engrossed in the entertainment aspect, in the glamour, in the fight, in the those things that the Hollywood, the American film industry brought into that Black Panther, the production of Black Panther. That was what they actually saw. That was what even they paid attention to, not even the story. So for you to be a good analyst, for you to be able to appreciate a film, you need to know what that story is about. So the story is oftentimes that heart of that movie in which we need to pay attention to. For example, I will still ask uh, us. I think please you guys should note this because this is one of the questions I think I'll be asking today. What do we? What is the real story of Black Panther? So I will be asking. I think we have I have Clint here. I have Andrew here. I have my brother from Namibia here as well. So please note this. What is personally I want each of you to share with me, even Elaine as well, because we are all learning together. What is that story behind Black Panther, the movie Black Panther? So the story is the key. When we lose track of what the story is about, then we do not understand, we cannot even analyze what that film is about. So the story is always the key. And I'm also a student of the school of thoughts that you cannot know a story, you cannot tell a story like its people. For example, I might not be able without research. Yes, that is where research comes in. I might not be able to really project as a film director that I am a story about a tribe in Nairobi. Yes, I've been to Nairobi. The what's it called? The there's this place I was taken to by the producer Rachel, where the Swahili people, the bush people, they were more there, and they were telling me about how these people live. They like living in the desert. They eat more of what they actually rare. Story like that I where I'm coming from is not what I'm used to. I will need an indigene. I will need somebody that really know who these people are to really tell me what their story is about. So I am also a student of that school of thought that whatever story that you want to understand, you need to be able to hear from those people that you are taking that story from those people that are living by that story. Do you get it? So the story is always the art of every film project. And without you understanding the story, you might not be able to know and analyze that film project properly as it's supposed to be. Also, when you talk about story, you are not you are we're also looking at what, because most of the time we just go to the cinema. Most of our attention is about, like I said, how the picture quality is great, and all sorts. But at the end of the day, that aspect of losing what that story is about, it is being not taken into cognizance. And that is where we need to really understand why we really need to understand what story is about. The second aspect of the element that we need to also pay attention when it comes to we having the ability to understand a film project is we have to be able to analyze the character. I have seen movies, a lot of movies, where the character, the actor of such movie, they don't even understand what the character that is expected of them to become is. I don't know if you guys have seen such movie, but based on my profession, not just as a movie director and also as a cinematographer, but as a film critic as well, those are the things I've been able to understand. Even in some of the feature films that we have celebrated, I see a lot of actors that was on such projects. They do not actually uh, play that role as what is expected of them, which actually come from what that story is about. So I hope you guys are following me so that you understand. Then we begin to look into even some of the projects that we have watched, some of the movies that we have watched. How is an actor? What is expected of an actor in terms of getting to know what that character that is expected of him or her to become? I've also seen, because in understanding this better, these actors, don't forget, this actor, if they play this character properly, it is the actor most of the time that are supposed to become that character, that the audience that we are talking about, the audience actually look at. Because since fame is something that there should be a connection. It's not just about revealing a story. It's not just all about wanting to tell a story. We are not just storyteller. We want to show a story. We want to show people about a life or life of some people that has been. Don't forget, either the film, the project is a fiction or is a true life story. There is a character that has been created. For example, yes, the cartoon that we watch and the Warner Brothers, the Nickelodeon, they create character. But even as they have created those character, there is what we call character Bible. What is expected of that character? That character must become, and the audience will form an attachment with such character, and that's why you will see some of the movies that are voted for academic award today. You see people so connected to such role, such actor. It is not just the actor that they are connecting to, it is the character that actor have become. That is also one aspect that we need to also pay very much attention to. So analyzing each character, it is not just the actor, it is the character that actor was supposed to become. Because whether we like it or not, most of the confusion that often come in film progression, there's what we call film progression, because each scene of every film project is connected to a plot. Please, I am now going technical so that we really understand what we are talking about. Don't forget, I think one of my, I think Clint said something when you said, when you asked Ellen asked about what film review is about, as in what he knows about what film review, and he was talking about going to, I don't know if it is Clink, but one of you guys said going to the what is it called? Going to the field as into the production, getting the rushes, coming back, putting them together. Yes, but it is far more than that. At this point now, we already have an edited copy, a post-production of a film project. Do you get? And each of the scene that is a compilation of the overall film product, a project, is connected to a plot. So each scene, if the particular actor have not been able to do good justice to that character or that particular actor, there's what we call character inconsistency in their way of dialogue, in their way of action. Most at times, it often causes confusion when we are looking at the story progression, in which most of the time you will see a lot of audience, they will even lose out to the original meaning of what that story is about. And that is where you will see confusion most of the time. The message that each story, each film is supposed to pass, if that message is not completed, then that film is faulty. Then that's the character, the actors that were supposed to represent that story, then they are failed. Those are some of the things as a film a critic student that we also need to pay attention to, in terms of getting to know how those actors were able to deliver and also become that character. I also have seen where even some of these actors, I have asked this as well in some of my um, time during casting for actors and selecting actors. At some time, I asked some of these actors that are professionals. Yes, they might be, some of them might be upcoming, but they are professionals. They have gone to film school, they have graduated. I asked some of them what they understand by character Bible. You know that a lot of some of these actors, they don't even know what character Bible is all about. Somebody that does not know what a character Bible is all about, and they want to act a movie and they want to become a character. So those are some of the issues that people like us, the film directors, the producers, sometimes we face in pre-production and also in production, in which we also need to pay attention to as film critic student. Because of our timing, I will need to rush. So the another aspect of elements that we need to also look into is we have to focus on the cinematography aspect. Most of the time, the camera is not showing us a good visuals of what the story is about. It is not just having a good story. Also, it is not just having a good actor. If the camera unit is not also capturing the right visuals for the movie, then the story progression and also story interpretation can also be affected. And that is where we now see the aspect of the camera angles, the light composition, and all sorts. So, and that's why you will see that a very good cinematographer will oftentimes review from with the camera the right shots, the right frame, the right camera movements. These three elements, which is part of the camera units, the work of the camera unit, really help to build the plots from the story and also the actualization of the story progression. So it's very important as well in the aspect of becoming analyzing a film, that we can also be able to analyze what the camera, the visuals, the camera unit actually help us to interpret the visuals of what the story is about and what the message of the expected message of the story is supposed to look like and also to be. Okay, furthermore, let me also move forward on that. please, if you have any question, just like I'm analyzing all these elements, you can be noting them down, and can be able to take some of your question. Then we'll move forward tomorrow in aspect of the practical aspect. So another aspect is, or in terms of appreciating film, in terms of revealing a movie, is you must be able to analyze the sound design. Sound is a very important element in every film, every movie project that you see today. And the sound design often include dialogues. How is the dialogue? What are how are the dialogue between the character? The music, what kind of music um, is added to each of the film projects, and also different sound effects. There are different sound effects that also interpret emotions, that also set triggers, that also bring about suspense. So each of these elements of sound design, as a film critic student, you and as well a professional, you must be able to know how to analyze what sound design is about. Don't forget, I always tell my fellow colleague this, because in my brief position as a content receiver for African Magic, that's multi-choice in South Africa, I was able to educate, because I saw a lot of content that most of the time, the producers will start calling me.
Mr. Kodere,
Yeah,
can you
Ellie.
kindly increase your the volume of the raise your voice a bit? Your voice
Okay, can you
is
hear me?
getting low.
Can you hear me now? Am I good now?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so sorry. So I said I am on sound design. So I was saying about when I was in a position with African Magic to collect content for submission, and also for projection of those content to be shown on African Magic. That's a multi-choice. I think is all over now in Africa, for Africa TV. And I got to realize a lot of complaints coming on my decks when we do not accept most of the content, most of the film that has been submitted from different producers all over the world. Then I continue to educate them. You can have a very good visuals. You can have a very clean and beautiful story that you have been able to shoot. But once you have a bad sound, then every of that beautiful visuals that you have will not be accepted. So sound is very important. For example, let me give a practical aspect. You can see Ellen calling me back now because she was not able to hear me very well. So if the sound in a movie project is not clear, is not standard, then that movie will not be accepted. That as well is very important when it comes to the acceptability of every movie. So also, that's where you see Netflix today and some other social media streaming platform where they reject a lot of work. It is not that the story is not what is not good. It's not that the camera that they use was not okay, but a lot of the time I got to realize the faulty sound, the bad sound that is often available, especially in most of our African content, our movies that we do. And as well, part of the problem in which we have in the Africa space in terms of the poor sound that I've been able to realize, and which is making most of our content not to be globally acceptable, is because of the low budget. Yes, sound, having to have a very good sound does not come cheap. And that is where we also need to be able to pay attention in understanding what sound design. Please do not forget, it is called sound design. What is the sound design? How the sound design of such project or such film project is about, and if they are able to meet up with global standard. Another aspect of the elements is as well the lighting. Please, lighting is another key. Is another key when it comes to you analyzing what a film is about. Lighting is one of the most important aspects of film production because it creates this visual mood. There's this atmosphere, there's this sense of meaning that the audience get to realize with what your lighting is about. If you place the wrong lighting in the right location or the right scene, then you are also causing a confusion. I have also seen that, especially some of these African movies that we have, that they do more of floor lighting. We call it floor lighting. There's no details in the lightings. There's no dynamics, and in such movie, you will see them. Each of those scenes might be having faulty interpretation because the audience will be confused. For example, let me give you an example. You want to create an environment. There's a scene where you are watching a movie, and in that movie, you are creating a tense environment. That means a tense environment, not a loving environment, a tense environment, and you are bringing the wrong lighting to it. Then some people might think, is it that they are displaying love? What are they actually displaying? So those are some of these aspects in which lighting bring into the interpretation of each scene for every movie project that we have today. And based on the element, part of the element of film appreciation, lighting as well is very, very important. Another aspect in which is very key, because you can have every aspect of element of the film that we have analyzed, we have highlighted so far, and at the end of the day, you will see such film that had a very good storyline, that has a very good visual um, element, that has very good lighting, but at the end of the day, that producer has given that project to a wrong editor. So understanding what post-production is about is also very important. So it is not just having the ability to capture the right moment, it's also having the ability to be able to assemble the footage, all the rushes of on a that you have been able to capture in your production of the film, having the art of assembling all this footage into a coherent story. Each scene that you have captured, that has been captured, where as a film critic, when you now look at it, that's as a finished product for a movie, was those scenes, do they connect? Sometimes you will see some scene in some of the project, they do not even connect with the next scene. Some will even be dragging us back to where we have left. Those are some of the errors that we also see when it comes to film appreciation. So, as a good professional of appreciating film and also criticizing film, you need to also know the details of what post production of each kind of movie genre is about. Okay, let me give you an example. Also, as an editor, because I also edit film as well, when we are talking about, so I want you to understand this that aspect of post-production, the practical aspect. We are still going to see that tomorrow. But you want to analyze an action film, most of the time an action film, we have in the post-production, we have what we call fast cuts. There's always fast cutting. That fast cutting always bring that excitement, always bring that action. But once you are watching like a drama, or you are watching yes, especially a drama always is not fast cuts, because if you do a fast cut for drama, then you might not be able to interpret the audience might not be able to interpret the emotions that is about to be shown. It might not be able to interpret it vividly. So in drama, we don't do fast cuts. We try to elongate the timing of the cuts so that each of those elements of the character can be identified. So those are some of the things we are also look at when it comes to the post-production ability of each of these projects in actually fulfilling what the story is about. Let me finish here because of our time. I think it's now after 9. So another aspect of which is going to be the last aspect I'm going to discuss tonight is of film appreciation, is about understanding film history. The kind of movie that is what I'm going to show tomorrow. We are going to look at it tomorrow for the practical aspect of this film appreciation. The kind of movie that's and how the way that movie are shot in the 1960s, in the 1950s is completely different from the way we shoot it now. There have been so much improvement in terms of the speed of the camera, the technology, the kind of the camera that we are using now, which is also completely different from what is being used centuries ago. And as well, the method, how are those, what kind of shots is acceptable today, which is completely different from what was acceptable some years ago. So, excuse me. So film history is also an aspect of the element of film production that we also look into, even in the time of the kind of grading, that's film coloration that we do centuries ago, some decade ago, is completely different on how we are doing it today. So you need to also understand and also research on what film history is about. What is the origin of film? How was it done when the cinema started? What is the acceptable work that the cinema are having to take now? So those are the things, those are the areas in which you need to pay attention to in terms of the elements that makes you to become a film critic and to be able to review what a film is about. So thank you, and I think I've been able to also stretch you guys today. It's supposed to be a brief introduction, but with what we have today, we have been able to also expose and also explore the elements involved in film appreciation. So thank you very much, and I think so. I want to get your feedback before we go to this. I asked you a question the other time. So what is your Ellen? So over to you now before we go into the question.
Okay. Oh my God. Wow, I learned a lot. Thank you so much, Mr. Okedore. I've learned a lot, especially that because nowadays everyone thinks that I film critics, but they don't know the history of film and like just the aspect of filmmaking, and they don't study different film genres like you mentioned. So wow, this information was really excellent. Wow, I'm amazed. Thank you, Mr. Kadore. Well done. That was a fantastic review. I can't wait for tomorrow's session. Any questions from our audience? Questions or comments? Any feedback? Wow, this was really, I learned a lot. Thank you, Mr. Kadore, once again, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
welcome.
Dear Punya, you can unmute your mic. I can see your hand.
Hi, thank you so much. I also learned a lot, like Aline said. So yeah, I really appreciated this class. So I just want to personally ask you, as a film critic, how do you stay objective to films though? Because there are some films that you watch, right? And you're like, this is not the genre that I will usually watch, or this is not a topic that I think I connect with. So how do you stay objective and just grade, if I'm to use the word grade, and how do you just grade these films from a film critic point of view and not as an audience member.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, is it India? Sorry, I don't I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you very much. Your question is highly noted. So, how personally I stay objective, just like you have asked, is very important as well. And that was why I said, for you to become a very good film critic, you must be able to leave your comfort zone. If you are not ready to leave your comfort zone, in the aspect of having to concentrate only in your kind of movie, you will not be able to be a very good film critic. So leaving your comfort zone requires that you should be able to watch different kind of genre of movie. The reason why you have to leave that comfort zone in watching every kind of movie is because whatever genre that you do not have a flair for, that you are not really concerned or you don't love watching, you might not be able to analyze such genre. Such genre in the sense that I actually broke it down initially. If you are a lover of action, a thriller movie, and you are less about maybe you are not the emotional type, you are not really concerned about drama, you just want something of action, you might not understand how to break even in understanding and analyzing drama movies. So the way I stay objective and also my fellow professional in this field is we being able to watch different aspects of movie. My partner in the person of Rachel can also attest to that. So that will be your key in becoming a very good film critic. So as well, I pushed a question to you guys before another Ellen will take over. So before Ellen take over, I pushed a question to you guys, and I would like to have our feedback on that. Is what story do we see in Black Panther? I would like to hear our individual feedback on this. The reason why I'm saying that is I don't forget I said for you to become a film critic, the number one element that you need to know is what the story is about. It's not just being carried away with the glamour, with the excitement of the movie. No, what is that story is about? And that's why I am asking that question. What story is really behind Black Panther? So, Ellen, over to you. If there's any other question, so that we'll move forward.
Okay, thank you. To answer that question, I can answer because I watched Black Panther. However, I didn't know the story of what I was watching. I think I was watching because of the hype it was getting and because it was the cool thing to do. Because of that's what everyone was watching, so I was watching it. I don't really understand the story because I don't understand these Marvel DC superhero stories, and I'm not a follower or a fan of these superhero movie stories. So I just I was following the plot. I don't know if I understand the story. I was just watching for entertainment purposes and because I was following the bandwagon. So I cannot answer that, to be honest. Yes.
So
Anybody
Ellen,
else? What? Yes.
yeah, Ellen, I just want to give a feedback on that. So I really love your sincerity. You can see now, Ellen, you are now becoming a film critic professional. So you can see that it's a practical thing. Just like I said, you cannot be able to, why you are not able to analyze and you cannot even understand what the story is about, was because you are not a lover of that genre of film. So for you to become a good film critic, for you to be able to analyze and understand movie, you need to be able to watch different genre of film project, and that's how you can become a very good one, making use of those elements that we have been able to highlight today. So is there any other question, or can we also, is there anybody that has so then that might be, if there's nobody that's answered that question today, I think that will be the assignments that I'm going to give to the class, to everyone that is in the class, to get the story behind Black Panther. What is Black Panther? That story, what is it all about? It's not just about the fighting and whatever. What is it about? I think my brother from Namibia is want to say something.
Ish, I feel like I'm talking a lot now. So, the from my takeaway from Black Panther was that the central conflict was about neo-colonialism and the effects of the white savior complex. That is what I got from it. And till today, it's something that when I look back at the film, I'm like, oh, okay. It was actually very profound. It was just not about a guy in a catsuit who was fighting people and stuff like that. So yeah.
Wow, I love that your feedback. I really love that your feedback. That's it's very very clear as well. Very very clear. So it's a good thumbs up to you, my brother. So what about Clint and Andrew? What's you have any question? You have okay. I think I'm seeing more hands now. Okay, over to you. My brother from Namibia, you want to talk? Okay, Ellen.
No,
No,
it was a misstep. Like I tapped on the wrong button.
Okay, okay. So Andrew and Clint, do you have any question? What have you been able to learn so far today? Mm, I think Clint and Andrew, I think they are not here. Ellen?
um, should I do the closing remarks, sir? Because
Yes,
I
yes.
see yeah, okay. Wow. Okay. First of all, before I do the closing remarks, I just want to give great appreciation to Mr. Okedore Oluwafemi. Wow, I learned a lot, and I'm actually excited for more topics to be spoken about via this masterclass. I learned a lot of information, and it just get me excited. So thank you so much for this information and for being available for this class. Thank you so much. Um, yes, thank you to everyone who attended today's masterclass. Today was just the introduction to the topic due to time, but tomorrow we'll continue with the full masterclass webinar at 7 p.m. Namibian time. I will share the link tomorrow and everything, and I'll also upload this recording on YouTube as well, so you can share to your industry friends so they can also participate in the next masterclass. Please share, and I will share the recording of this YouTube I'll share the recording of this session on YouTube and post it tonight, and I'll also share the link for tomorrow's masterclass again, which will be the continuation of this topic at 7 p.m. Namibian time. So thank you so much, Bia Punya, for joining us, Client and Andrew, and thank you so much for making time to join us. Thank you very much. And wow, Mr. Okay, Jore, good job. Wow, I look forward to more learning of this masterclass. Thank you so much. And Miss Rachel, we're expecting the downloaded recording today if possible. And yeah, just thank you so much for joining. Have a good night all.
Yeah, good
And
night.
also, if you want to join the WhatsApp group, I posted the link on under the comment section. Share to your friends. All inquiries will be attended to. The everything, feedback, inquiries, and information about the masterclass will be attended to in the WhatsApp link, in the WhatsApp group link I posted on the comment section. So thank you so much and good night.
Yeah, good night. Yeah, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Miss Rachel? Miss Rachel? It's Rachel.